Alright, peace, God.
Peace, God.
Yeah, God, it's been a minute since last time we had it on. That was 2016, 2017, I think it was 2016. You know what I'm saying? So a lot has happened since then. You know, but I want to go back to like the foundation and you know, deal with your history. How you came up in Medina. Right. Well, you and I, we share a little bit of history. Well, we share some of the same history, which in terms of like going to the same junior high school. You went to Bildersee. I went to Bildersee. I went to Bildersee in 1989, 89 to 92.
Yeah, I went in the 60s, dog.
You was in the 60s, yeah.
Right. You know?
Yeah. What was that? What was that time period like, dog?
Man, that shit was rough, man. That's when they first passed the Civil Rights Bill and all that type of shit. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You know? And like my whole wife, I guess she thought it would be better me having an advantage going to school with the Caucasian people. Mm. You know?
So this is before that. That integration wasn't even legal back at the time.
Right.
Wow.
That's when that shit really started. 1960s, 1964, you know, 1965, that's when all that shit just came into being. You know, my old wife thought she was doing me justice, sending me
to school with the Caucasian.
Right, yeah, but that was the worst year of my life, as far as school-wise and shit like that.
And what grade? Well, how old were you at the time? Like knowledge, culture, knowledge, understanding?
Yeah, like knowledge, understanding, shit like. So I got bust out from Marcus. That's in Brownsville, right? I would have been in 8T1, the talent class. I would have got an instrument, you know what I'm saying? And everybody played an instrument, and they had French. But when I got shipped out to Canarsie, my class, I was in 7-6, right?
So they put you back?
Yeah, really. They wasn't knocking none of their people out the box for me to get in, you know? So I was in 7-6 and I had Spanish. I didn't get no instrument, nothing like that, none of the special stuff that I would have got had I went to Bildersee. Or had I not went to
Bildersee. Right.
Yeah, it was like that. And you know, it was rough because you never knew how things was gonna be at the end of the day. Like, usually when you go to school, if you got a problem with somebody, then you could say like, 3 o'clock, you know, we're gonna handle this 3 o'clock. We couldn't do that shit at 3 o'clock. Cause we had white people who deal with it 3 o'clock. We had to get back to Brownsville.
So you saying like, so when you had an issue like with your air lights or something, or with your people, you couldn't say 3 o'clock. You had to.
Right. Nah.
You couldn't deal with your own. You can't fight your own act, basically.
Oh no, man. It was like now or in. We gonna do this shit now or forget this bullshit. Cause we had the white people. You know, and the ones that was in school with us, they had like, fathers, stepfathers, older brothers, uncles, all that type of shit. And them motherfuckers had cars, motorcycles, guns, bats, chains, all kind of shit, God. Right. So that's what we had to deal with at 3 o'clock. We had to get back to Brownsville. They wouldn't come across Leonard Boulevard, because the ones that did, they never made it back.
So, because on Bildersee is on Flatlands Avenue, right? So you basically, when you got out of school, you had to travel down Flatlands Avenue to get back to Linden Boulevard, all the way down. It's kind of like a little bit of a trek there. Unless you was taking the bus.
Rockaway Parkway.
Rockaway Parkway.
Avenue.
Rockaway Parkway, right. Yeah.
Across Linden Boulevard, you good.
Right. So you're saying you get to Rockaway Parkway, then you make that left.
Yeah, that tip.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, going up, right? Yeah, that must have been a real journey though, like.
Hell yeah, man. But that's what we had to go through, you know? And that threw my whole shit off for school, you know? I would have been playing an instrument had I stayed in Marcus, you know? I wouldn't have had, man, they ain't want me back in Bildersea.
So you was there for like, well, how long you was in Bildersea for?
For a year.
For a year.
Yeah, for 7th grade. They asked me to leave, never to return.
What was the reason they asked you to leave though?
Because I was always a problem with them white boys. Really throwing down right in the hallway. You know, with them white boys. They were so rude and disrespectful at that time, you know. You couldn't let that shit go, you know.
That was a quality sight for years.
Yeah.
And this is right before you got the knowledge.
INFMEGA did this.
To see the entire complete film that these segmented clips come from, join 7 On Demand. Add on with me as we take our media to the next level.